Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we continue with our Excel challenge series. Today's one is challenge 172, and I want you to follow me as we continue. Please, you should follow Excel BI linking page if you really want to improve your Excel skills. So let's get started. So let's try to read the question. Find the total commission paid to each agent along with a grand total row. So the total commission paid to each agent. These are agent 1 and agent 2. These are agent A, B, C, D, and so on. So commission is amount times commission percentage. These are commission percentage times the amount. The share percentage between two agents is given in share percent column. These are share percent. Here we have agent A and B doing the same work, so they will share it in 60 to 40%. Where if the share percentage is blank or null, then it is 100%. So like here, where we have blank here, it means D is taking 100%. Where we have blank here, it means C is 100% taking it. Hence, if we have 1,000 and the share commission and the commission is 15%, so which is 150. If share is 60 by 40, it means one will take 90 and the other one will take 60. So that's it. Let's try and solve the problem. Firstly, I will try and solve it using EFFORROR. Then we will use just a formula to be able to bring our idea together. So let me take you through how we will solve the problem. The first thing is to first calculate for your commission. So let's calculate for our commission that each one will receive, which will be this cell multiplied by this cell. Then we divide it by 100. Since the commission is in percentage, so we divide it by 100. So we have this. We can drag it down to see the commission for each one of them. Then to calculate the commission each agent we have to first divide this by, split this text. And how do we split it? We can use our text split function. So we are splitting this text and we are splitting it by the comma and the space, because there is a space after the comma, so that we won't have a space behind our second number. So we can see we've been able to split it into two different lists. So if you look at it, some of them are having error where you don't have any value. So if we can just say if error what do we want if error, replace those places by 100. And where you have error is where you have error here is where there's no value at all. So where you have error, just replace it by 100. So let's drag it down. So you can see we have 100 in those cases. And if you look at it very well now, you'll notice that where we replace it by 100 is showing like a number, and the other places is showing like text, because text splits gives results in text. So we have to convert all this text and everything to number. And one of the easiest way to do it is to use our double unary. That's 2 minus sign. So to convert all of them to numbers. So now that we have what each agent will take, what we'll do next is to calculate the percentage at which each agent will share. What we need to calculate is what each agent will take. And how do we do that? Is just to multiply this 2 by this one. So this one will be equals to M2 times this. Then you can divide it by 100, since those are in percentage also. So we have the share of each person. Yeah, so these are our share. So the next thing to do for us is to sum, to be able to get our commission that each agent will take. And how do we get that? We know that for the first one, agent 1 will take this and agent B will take this. The same way, agent C will take this and agent D will take this for the next item. So how do we do that? The formula we can use to sum what they will do is sum if. So what you'll be doing is sum everything if the agent is A, sum all its commission. If the agent is B, sum all the commissions. If the agent is C, and like that and like that. So let's use our sum if. So the range that we use for our comparison, where is the range that we use for our comparison is the agent name or the agent code. Then what's our criteria? Our criteria will be if the agent is A, if the agent is B, if the agent is C or D. So how do we get that? We don't need to write it out. Since we know the agents are between A and D, we can use this one using both our sort and unique. We want to sort it in alphabetical order. That's why we are using sort. Then we'll wrap the unique inside our sort. Then which array? So we want this array, this same array. We want the unique value of each agent. Then we'll close the sort also. It sorts by default in ascending order. Then what is the sum range? These are first sum range. So, and we can from there get what our sum is. Sorry, I didn't close the last bracket. So this is the commission for agent A and agent B, agent C, and agent D. So if we want to know the commission using this next line, we'll still use our same sum if formula. So let me just drag it this way. So it will give us some value. Because we have some empty space here, that's why it's giving us this 0 as the last value. So let's confirm this our sum if formula if it's working fine. So sum if using column D2 to D10, which is this one, unique value of D2 to D10. If I don't want this empty one, since we know all the agent A, B, C, D are also here, we can just change this one to C2 to C10. It's still the same agent, so then you will not see the 0 value because in agent 1 column there's no empty space. So if we want to now know what this should be for agent A, agent B, agent C, and agent D, want to know what each one of them get used, just do equals to this one plus the second one. Then you have the total. You can drag it down, and we can, since these ones are in 0 decimal places, we can also make these ones to be in no decimal places. So let's close it. Then here we have the sum, the total sum. So if we compare our answer, you'll see agent A is 1686, agent B is 1887, agent C 1867, like that. And we can see that our answer is the same thing. So let's try and solve this whole thing by just writing one single formula. So let's start with our let function. Our let function. So what we use our let function is to create a variable within our formula, to hold a variable within our formula. So the first thing is our amount. So I want to my amount to be this column. So what I'm trying to do is I want to hold all this column in my formula so that I can be able to use them in the calculation. So if I want to show you that this is holding, so let me call out the amount again so that you understand what I'm trying to say. So you can see this value is being replicated here. So what I have done here is using this line amount, the name, I name the whole of this B2 to B10 amount. So anytime I use amount within my formula, in my formula bar, it means it knows I'm referring to this column. So let's do it for all the other columns. So let me call out the share so that you will see it again. So our share is giving us this. So the first thing we want to calculate is to calculate this our commission share by multiplying column and commission. So commission amount. So let me make it com amounts. Will give us this multiplied by this will be amount times your commission, which is com, so divided by 100. You remember your commission is in percentage, so let me call it out to be sure we have the right thing. You can see this is equivalent to this, so meaning we have the right thing. So let's do the next one. So the next one is to split this into two. So share by per agent. So that will be our text split. What do we want to split into two? That's our share. That's the text. What do we want to split it by? Comma and space. So let's close our bracket. And remember the other time we have some error message, so we can decide to treat the error message and both the fact that text split will give us an error. So we can just a text. So let's convert our text to number, since we know that our text split will give us a text. So let's convert the text to number. You will see. And remember we have an error message here, so we can also deal with the error message using our if error. So let me put it like if error. Remember we replace wherever we have error by 100. So let's check again. Okay. Well, if you notice the output of our text split is giving us just the first part of the text split. It's not giving us the second part of the text split. So this is something that will make our formula not to work well, because we can't access the second part of the text split. So what we need to do is, instead of using text split, we will use text before and text after. So that means we'll get the first part and the second part of our text of this share of the share percentage So let me come to this place, then let me change it to text before. So text before, the first argument of your text before is still your text, then your delimiter. So it's text before your comma and your space, which is still okay. Then if you have an error, you should change it to 100%. So I will change this one to share agent 1. That's for the first line of agents. That's share agent 1. So let's see, you will still have the same value. So the next thing to do is, what we do is we will now use this same style, but now we'll be using text after. So we'll use share agent 2. So we'll be using text after to get the second share percentage. The same formula, let's wrap it in IFERROR. Text after this time around. So text after our share. and after the comma and space, yes, then if error, yeah, what do we want to replace it by? Because it's the second space, if there is error, we want to replace it by 0. Then we close our bracket. Then let's call out our share agent 2. Let's see if we, sorry, that was a mistake. So you can see we have the share percentage 40, 70, and so on. But what I want us to do now is let's make this our share percentage. Let's divide it by 100 so that we can have them in not in percentage again, but in their decimal, so that we can use it for our calculation. So we've divided this one by 100. So let's divide the other one too by 100. So now we have this second line of action. We divided them by 100 so that we can just have them in their percentages. So what next to do is to calculate this our commission amount per each, the commission amount for each agent. So let's calculate this level of the calculation now. So let's do that now, where we know the commission each agent will take. So commission of agent 1, while they are under agent 1, will be share of agent 1 multiplied by the commission amount. Sorry, commission amount underscore amount. Then let me do for the second one, then we can display what our answer gave us. So commission for agent 2, command will be share of agent 2 times same commission amount So we can look at maybe commission of agent 2. Let's see if it tallies with what we have here. So if you look at it, commission of agent 2 is 84,574 and so on and so forth. So it tallies with what we have here. So the next probable thing is for us to get this sum for A, B, C, and D. A, B, C, and D. And here we use sum if to do our sum. So let's come here. I will first want to show us something, because the thing that will come to mind is for us to use sum if here. But we'll discover that we can't actually use sum if here. So let's try it the way we use it here. Sum if maybe for agent 1. Agent 1 that's the sum range. The criteria will be let me use the way we use sort. We sort unique value of agent 1. Then let's close our sort. Let's close our sum if. Then let's pass it out. So if you look at it now, it's giving us 4 zeros. 4 zeros, because we have 4 unique values, A, B, C, and D. So here we can actually use sum if to do criteria, to do a calculation inside our let formula. Neither can we use it in map and BYROW. What we need to use if you want to do a kind of sum if is to use reduce and your lambda. To use reduce and the lambda together. So let's try that. Reduce always have an initial value. We'll be setting our initial value here to 0. Then an array because we need 4, we are summing by 4 different number of different agents. So we can just use sequence to create an array for 4 items. Sequence to create an array for just 4 items. So let's use our lambda to do the calculation. In your lambda, if we are using reduce, in your lambda you have to have an initiator and an iterator as a variable. So let our initiator be A and our iterator be B. So let me explain that. The reduce formula, when you are using a reduce function, you specify the initial value, which is 0, and your array. So the initiator will pick your initial value, and we use that to do the calculation you are doing. Your B will be taking an element from your array, while A is your initial value. B will be the one taking an element from your array. That's why we call it the iterator. So you'll be taking one element at a time from your array to do whatsoever calculation you want to do. So let's assume I want to do A plus B. So what that means is, so let me close my reduce and my length. So what that means is A is initiator. So you take the first value of 0, then 0 plus the first value of your sequence, which is 1. So it will be 0 plus 1, which is 1. Then A will now take the value of 1. So it will now be 1 plus the next value, which is 2, which will be 3. Then 3 plus the next value, which is 3, which is 6. Then plus 4, which is 10. So this should give us 10. So you can see this one is giving us 10. So what I want to do first is, let me store this as a variable. So let me use it sum for agent 1, because we are still going to do similar thing for for the sum for agent 2, like we have here. So but before we do that, how do we do the sum if here? We can still use sum if directly, but we can use sum and if together. We can use sum and filter together to give us that sum if. Here I'll be using sum and filter. So for me to use sum and filter, because I want to make it as dynamic as possible, I need to get the list of the agents. So the list of the agents, now we can use our sort and if to get that. Sort and unique, sort, unique. Then we can use agent 1. Yes, because agent 1 is a list of all these agents. Then let's close our sort, let's close our unique, then our sort, comma. Then let me try and call it out here. So let's see if it's giving us what we want. Agent, oh sorry, I didn't name the variable here, so let me name it here. Agent. So agent is equals to this. Then I'll call the agent out. So let's see. So now we have our A, B, C, and D. So here we can see we have an array that I've spelled out. But when I'm filtering, I want to pick each value of this array. And the easiest way to pick it is using my mid function. So since I have an array, I can just concat my array together so that I can pick them one by one. So when I concat it, I can use my mid function to pick each value of the array. So I just have a list of letters A, B, C, D, and E. So let's come here. Let's try and use our filter function. Let's replace our A and B, A plus B. So let's use filter. So what do we want to filter? We want to filter which array? That's our commission 1. Let's commission for agent 1. What do we want it to include? We want it to include where our agent 1 is equals to A. So agent 1 is equals to A. How do we get A? We can use mid function to bring out A. So mid function, using our mid function, which text do we want to go for? The text is our agent, which we've just created. That's the agent. The text is our agent. Where do we want to start from? That's where you need your B now. We want to start from the first value of our B. Then, how many number of characters do you want to pick? I want to pick one character at a time. So let me close my filter function. So I think I'm good. So let me call out some agent 1. Let's see what it will give us. So when we filter by the first character, this one, what's reduce do for us is when you filter by the first one, it will give you the first value. When you filter by the second one, it will give you the second value. So when you filter by the last value, which is D, you will see for D now, if we go back, D in this case have 100%, and 100% of 9% is 234, and this is another place we have D here, which is 309.6. So it's giving you the value for D in this one, because you will have gone through the value of A, value of B, value of C, value of D. That's what it will give to you. So if you want to see everything, we can stack them together. If you want to see it to arrange the value of A, value of B, value of C, value of D, like that, we can stack it together. But we don't want it that we will stack it together. But first, let's first sum it. So let's sum it by each of the filter. So if you filter the value of B, sum it. If you filter the value of C, sum it. That way we'll get what we want. So let's close our bracket. Let's look at it. So it will give you the sum value of D, because that is the last one. And if you check, this is equals to this sum value of D. If you want to see the sum value of all the 4 elements, then you put VSTACK here. So VSTACK, if you want to VSTACK, for you to do VSTACK, you need more than one array. So this is an array. Then the second array, you will just point to your first element, which is your initial value, so that you can have another array to stack it with. So let me close the bracket here. So you will see you have 0, which is we used to pick as our first element. Because we are using VSTACK, we stack it, the first one. Then these are the sum of all these for A, for B, for C, and for D. So if for us to be able to remove the first element, we can use our drop function. Then this one will drop the first element. So let me close it. Sorry, we'll drop the first element of the array, which is 0. So that's why we're adding our drop function. So we'll drop the first element and we'll have all the other elements. So now what we need to do next is to do the same thing for the next commission for the agent 2. So that's, if we want to do that, we can just copy this. It's a similar formula. So when you copy that, you just change a few things. So this is commission for agent 2, then drops, the sequence is for A, B, we can still use our A and B. Then we change this one, commission for agent 2. Then here also we change it to 2. We want to compare it with agent 2. Then agents is still the same list of agents. Then we can check. Let's get it from here. Agent, sum agent 2. Let me put a comma here. So let's see. And if you look at this, it will give this same value that is here. This is summation for agent 2. So see, now that we have the summation for agent 1 and the summation for agent 2. So what we need to do is to sum these two together. But if we want to sum it together, so I would like to use a BYROW function, so that you can see how you can use all these functions all joined together. So let me say, what should I call it? Let me name it for total sum. So let me name it total. So for us to be able to sum it together, let's use BYROW, because what I will do is I will stack each this by this one. So I'll use HSTACK. So what I'm doing is I want to stack the summation for agent 1 and summation for agent 2 by each other. When I stack them by each other, then we can sum each one of them by row. So HSTACK sum agent 1 and summation of agent 2. So that's our array. Then the function. So lambda, let's use lambda. The initial value, the variable. So what A is representing here is each row in our stack element. So what do you want to do with each row? We want to sum it together. So if I call, so let me close my lambda, let me close my BYROW, then let me call my total row out. You can see, so this is the total for this, but this one is still in decimal places. So what we can do is just to round it up. So let's round our BYROW to up. Round. How do we want to round it up? To 0 decimal places. 0 decimal places. So we don't want any decimal place. So you see, this is equivalent to this. For us now to present an answer this way, we will still do one more step so that we can present our answer in the same format that we have in our challenge. So let's do that now. So what we do now is we can stack our unique array with this one. So when we stack them together, then we can have our answer. So let's stack them together. So we can still use a stack. What do we want to stack together? Sort, because we didn't store it, unique list of our agents. So let's use agent 1, comma, sorry, let me close my sort and unique. Then what other array do you want to stack beside it? Our total row. Then we'll close our stack, then our let is closed. So we now have this. The only other thing that is left is to get our total for this place, So we can use VSTACK to do that. So the last thing to do is just to add this total to the bottom. So we can use VSTACK to solve that. So what we can do is we can VSTACK the agent with total and VSTACK, or what we have here, we can just VSTACK it with the total, what do you call it, total and sum. So how do we do that? Let's put VSTACK here. So the result of this array is the first value of our VSTACK. So the next value of our VSTACK will be an HSTACK of, the first value there will be the word total, and we'll put it in curly brackets so that Excel will recognize it as an array. Then the next value will be the sum of our total, the sum of this. So the sum of our total. Then we can close our HSTACK. Then we can close our let function. So So sorry, we have an extra, yes, so an extra bracket there. So let's close it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, so we can see now we have the solution. Total, let me write the total, let me make this total T have a capital letter. So that's what we have here. So we now have a similar solution to this, just using an Excel formula without using any upper column or upper row. So I believe you've been able to learn how to use a lot of function. I decided to make this very expansive so that you can see how we can go step by step to solve a problem. So thank you for watching today's video. Stay blessed. Please try to subscribe to our channel for you to be able to see some more educative video on learn more on how to use Excel. Thank you.